You see a lot of videos on homeschooling your kids when they have ADD. Well, what about when you have ADD? Where are those tips? Well, today I'm going to give you some tips for the homeschooling mom who has ADD. Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. So you may have ADD or ADHD, attention deficit disorder, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In either case, some of the symptoms are the inability to focus. For me, it's getting distracted a million times during my homeschool day. And a lot of the times the kids don't get their work done is because I'm distracted. So if I'm distracted, I can't keep them on task. Or I start doing different projects during my day that I shouldn't be doing, and then we don't get through our homeschool day, and it's not their fault, I blame them, but it's really me. With ADD comes disorganization. Maybe it's really hard for you to be organized or consistent. I have a big problem in consistency, and if you saw my video on my New Year's goals for this year, one of my big goals is being consistent in like the many areas of my life. Or it could be getting up 1,000 times during the school day. Like for me, I always think of things and I get up and I go to make breakfast and then I see the laundry, then I go to put the laundry in, and then I see something I needed to put up and I'll go put up that shelf, but then I'll see that I needed to print out a picture to put in the picture frame that goes on the shelf, and then I'll go and do that, and I just go down like through 1,000 rabbit holes. So how do you stay focused when you're homeschooling your kids, when you're the one that is the problem? I'm gonna give you some tips right now that should help you to stay on task if you follow them. The first tip is to have some time in the morning for yourself, waking up before the kids and just getting your mind ready. For me, that means I need to wake up first before I'm bombarded by the kids' requests for food and why they can't do school. So I need to wake up first. I have to just have complete silence. First I go get my coffee because that helps me to wake up my mind. And then I have to have complete silence for a minute and just let my mind just process any dreams or any thoughts and all the craziness that goes through my head overnight, and just like get some little peace and quiet there. Maybe do a brain dump in a journal, write things down, maybe write a to-do list, do a morning routine, pray, whatever it is that helps you get yourself together before your kids wake up. Getting dressed before them, maybe even eating breakfast before them, so that when they wake up, you can focus on them and not get sidetracked by all the things that you want to do for yourself. So I like to get dressed before they wake up, have my makeup on. Sometimes I even have to walk the dogs, and if I'm hungry in the morning, I'll have a quick breakfast before they wake up, and before I wake them up, and then my day gets started. I can just completely focus on what they have to do. I have my to-do list, but I don't touch that to-do list until after school is over. Second thing is, when you're making your to-do list, is making a short to-do list. Some of us tend to put like 20 things on a to-do list and then they don't get done. Then you feel like you didn't have anything accomplished. So having maybe 3 items on that to-do list, 3 main items that you want to get accomplished for the day, will help you to stay on task, and just making sure that you wait until after your homeschool day to get it done. The phone. This is a huge distraction. So you need to keep that phone away from you and put it on Do Not Disturb. So I have mine on Do Not Disturb, and the only one who can reach me is my daughter and her school, my teenage daughter who's in school, and the school, just in case of an emergency. Other than that, I try to keep it away from me, but within hearing range, or I'll have my Apple Watch on me so I can just ignore, know that it's there. If this can be distracting, actually, it just vibrates like crazy all day. But if it's on Do Not Disturb and my daughter does reach out to me, I only get her notifications. So keeping that phone away from you, because I know that when my kids are busy and they're doing stuff, I tend to go on Facebook or go on Instagram or start taking pictures or watching YouTube and things like that. And just keeping that phone away from you for the day. If you need it for the calculator, get a hands-on calculator, get a hands-on timer so that you don't need to touch that phone at all during the day. Another thing that's good to do is to keep a notepad near you, or a piece of paper or something, preferably a notepad, one thing. Because if you have more than one, you're going to end up losing it anyway. Something big, preferably, so you can find it easily. And just every time you get the inkling to do something, you just write it on that piece of paper. I mean, by the end of the day, you're going to have this humongous list. But then at the end of the day, you can break it up into what really needs to get done today and what you can spread out for the rest of the week. But every time you have a thought that pops in your head and you want to get up and do something else, write it down instead. That way you don't lose it from your mind, but it's still there on paper. And then when you're done your school day, you can delegate the days that you want to have it done. You can separate, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. And my last tip is to make sure that you have everything that you need before you start homeschooling. Whether you want to set this up the night before, or if you need to do it in the morning, make sure you have your things printed out, cut out, if you need glue or scissors, notebooks, because if you go into a zone where you're looking for something, forget it. Like there's no point in even trying to continue with that activity. Make sure that you have everything that you need to complete your homeschool day and every single lesson for your kids. So these are my tips. And if you have a child that has ADHD and you need some tips on homeschooling them, check out my video on the side, which will tell you some wonderful tips to help your child if they're the ones that have ADHD. And if you both have it, then I hope that you can take both of those videos side by side and work together to manage your symptoms. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.